Hi, today we're going to be doing a galvanic current using the disincrustation, or what's known as a deep port cleanse. So I'm going to show you the supplies and the tools that I'm going to be using. We have our water to saturate our pads. I have a positive serum that I'll be using when I use the positive polarity. I have my disincrustation that is used in the negative polarity. It's going to soften the tissues and make it easier to extract. Okay. I have my eye pads or cotton. I have my little rubber bands to hold that with, spatulas, and this is our galvanic machine right here. Okay, you'll notice you have your on and off switch. This is called a rheostat. It increases the current when you're using it. Okay, and then I have a negative and two positives. Okay, so we'll be using those with these electrodes. So let me go through these. This is our inactive electrode that my client will be holding at all times. Okay, when I need to switch the polarity, I will just move it from here to here, and she doesn't have to do anything but just hold on to it. This is my active electrode, and it's called the little ball used in the negative force. Okay, and this is going to be for my positive with my serums to roll that product into it. So it's pretty simple. I know it sounds scary, but basically it's just a regular facial, but you're using electricity to do the work for you. So we're gonna start with this right now. You would have already given 2 cleanses. You've done exfoliator or scrub, and now you're going to use your galvanic current to soften it up before extractions. So I'm gonna sanitize my hands. Okay, because she's already prepped for me. Okay, and then I'm going to take my little spatula here, and I'm going to put a little of this on the back of my hand so I can apply it. And I'm actually going back inside here because I'm going to dispose of this cup. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, I'm going to put it on. Usually the areas that you are going to be doing extractions, you don't want to really have to put it on the entire face. It is an alkaline product. Remember, our skin is acid, so alkalines usually dry or soften the skin, but you don't want to keep them on there. Now, what it will actually do, some of your blackheads that you've seen on your nose for a long period of time, and you've tried to extract them yourselves, or you've had an esthetician try, and she said she couldn't get them out. Okay, well, the reason she couldn't get them out, okay, was because it was dried against the follicle wall. So we're going to loosen it from the follicle wall, okay? And it should be very simple to do an extraction after that. So I'm gonna take my first pad, I'm gonna get it wet over my garbage here. I'm gonna squeeze out that excess water, okay? I just wanna have a damp pad, okay? And then I'm going to put it on my first electrode. I'm gonna wrap it around just like this. And the rubber band is just to hold it on top so it doesn't move. Okay, like that. Oops, can't get this on. There we go. Okay, the towel is clean. I'm gonna set it right here just for a moment. Okay. Now my client would be holding this, and I would be saturating another pad. So we're gonna do that, but my client can't hold it, so we'll set it to the side, even though that's what she's gonna be holding. Okay. So I'm gonna dampen her pad and squeeze all that water out. Now, there is no product that goes onto this one. It's just a damp cotton pad, okay? And I'm gonna wrap it around like this. Let me show you. I'm gonna hold it like this and wrap it around like that, okay? And I'm just gonna do it like that. Okay, because all I need her to do is hold on to it like this, okay, while I'm doing my service. And this would go into my positive, because remember, she's going to use the inactive, and I'm going to be using the active. And I need what's known as the negative first. So I'm going to place it into the positive slot right there. And let's just imagine that my client is holding this while I'm giving her the facial. She must keep her hands on that wet pad, all right? Okay, and then I'm gonna get mine ready. So mine now is gonna be my little active active electrode using the negative pole. Okay. So I'm going to plug mine into the negative, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to saturate it. Excuse me. Even though it's damp, I want to get a little bit more of that disincrustation. You can literally make some at home. In your textbook, it gives you a recipe to use distilled water and baking soda to soften it. Okay, so we're going to start on her forehead first. I have to make contact with the client before I turn that current on. And then I'm going to slowly turn it on. Okay, and I'm just going to move it around until she can feel a tingling. And to be honest, she might have like a metal taste in her mouth, or she might feel, as I go over maybe a blemish, it'll feel like those little needles you get when you're falling asleep, okay? So I just want to make sure that the current's not too strong. On this particular apparatus, it's usually about halfway, but I still want you to check. Now, the depth of the skin is different on the forehead, nose, and chin. So you can see that it's a lot meatier, I guess, on the cheek if you had to do that. But on the bonier area, you won't be able to go as high on your current. And you're just going to wiggle it around like this. Okay? And this shouldn't be more than 5 minutes, okay, working on this. Okay? And I can go down as long as I make contact. Now, you don't want to lift up, because if I lift up, then I'm going to have to shut the current off before I can remove the electrode. Okay? Now, she might be right now telling me, okay, I can't really feel it, so I can turn it up just a little bit because I am on her cheek. Okay. Right here, people get those little blackheads. Okay, and I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Okay, so I can move it to the chin because that's a little bony too. And you're just going to move it around like that. And I'm coming up to the cheek again. So I'm going to turn up and ask my client, how does it feel? Okay. And let me tell you, sometimes everyone thinks that it doesn't, you can't feel anything, but let me tell you, if you have a blemish, let's say a pimple that we're going to go over, it does feel like needles going in it. But every time it goes over normal skin, it doesn't feel like that. Okay. All right. So 5 minutes has come by. You're going to turn the current completely off and shut the machine off. Okay, now I can remove my electrode. I'm going to set this right here, and I'm going to put it in my to be disinfected container. And we will be cleaning these just like we did yesterday for high frequency. You'll wipe them off and you'll use alcohol and a tissue to remove from the bulb. Okay. Sanitize my hands now. Okay. So at this time, we're actually going to be doing extractions. So I would kind of just blot this, because if it's too slippery, I won't be able to do my extractions. You'll notice mine's a gel. Yours will be a little bit watery if you're using the baking soda, so you won't have to blot. Okay, so extractions would be done at this time. Tissues, that's another class, extractions. Okay, so let's just assume that we have done our extractions. Okay, it's time to remove any residue left on her skin of that disincrustation solution. Okay, let me get that all off. Kind of sounds funny trying to do this with electricity, but you have to follow all of the contraindications using electricity. When you're using high frequency, you have to be a person that is not a contraindication, and your client can't be. On this one, it's only you. You don't have to worry about electricity because it's not going through you. It's only going through the client. So it runs through her tissues, and that's why we're not getting in the middle of that current. Okay. So our next step is going to be, I'm going to have to do this one. I'm going to remove this with the positive serum, and it's going to nourish and close down that follicle. Okay. Because we're not using any type of a toner or spray toner. If you use these serums afterwards, you cannot use alcohol products again, remember? After yesterday's lesson, if you're using it with electricity, you're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, I'm gonna apply it just so it sits on top of the skin. Okay. Yeah, like I said, just consider this like her toner, and it's going to be nourishing her skin. I'm going to change the polarity for the client. She's now going to be holding the negative, okay? Basically, she would have been holding the entire time. Remember, I was only going to be removing the polarity, okay? I just set it over here. I just want to remind you that. My active electrode is going to be mine, okay? And this is my anode electrode. Okay, and I'm going to be placing this in the positive, okay? So the client has this one, and I have that one. All right? Same concept, you must have the electrode on the client before you turn the current on. So place it on here, you're going to turn the current on, and you're going to gently increase it, okay? And you're going to roll. And again, you're going to be checking with the client. What is her sensation? What does she feel? If nothing, you can go up a little higher. Okay. And you just want to work it in. Okay, where the other one was going in and swirling around and trying to get that sebum off the follicle wall, this one now is going to be closing it back up. Okay. So it's sitting all the goodies down into her skin to nourish it. Okay, calm it down because we just did extractions. Okay. And go over the entire face. If you need to move and you can't get around the face, go ahead and shut it off and then come back to that area. Like I'm going to do the nose last because I do have to move that around a little bit differently. And you want to make sure that all of this product gets absorbed into your client, okay? Okay, right now I'm going to actually shut it off. Okay, so that I can get right here on the nose, okay? So let me place it on the nose and I'm gonna go the current's not gonna be as strong, okay? Turning it back on and raising it up just a little bit. So I can get right there. Okay. And I'm gonna shut it off and come back over and do the other one. It's kind of hard, so bear with me, this is my left hand. Okay, there we go, turn this up. And you're working it in. Okay, just like that. Okay. All right. And there we have it. Okay. Any residue, I would actually massage into the client's skin. Okay. And she's finished. All your tools will go into your to be disinfected. Put this into the trash. Okay, and any products that you have left over, obviously they will go into the garbage because I can't reuse that. Okay, that concludes our galvanic current.